So in today's video, we're going to be checking out the brand new VST plugin by Lunacy Audio called Beam. This is an interactive effects playground. Light up your sound. Beam is an interactive multi-effects plugin featuring a cutting-edge granular engine, convolution reverb and filters with an innovative dynamic audio graph system. Spark your keys, spice up your vocals, reshape your drums and launch your synths into outer space. Let's take a little look at the advert for it.
It's time to reshape audio effects. Combining beautiful granular processing with a futuristic reverb engine. And a new way to visualize your creative process. This is Beam. A flowing, growing ecosystem of modern effects. With layers of parallel processing and detailed modulation and motion. Light up your sound. Beam. Available now.
That looks so cool. It looks so futuristic as well. Today's video is sponsored by Lunacy Audio, so I have got a copy of Beam here to check out and to show you guys as well. This is Beam. This is what it looks like when you first open it up. Comes with the default preset and already it looks really futuristic, man. It's so cool how you can just like interact with everything that's going on. So this is what a blank preset will look like. This is essentially the beam, the stream going across here. If you used to play anything in here, nothing would happen as we have not added any nodes yet. Nodes are basically effects. You've got space, which is convolution reverb. You've got the granular engine here, which is basically the jewel, the gem of the whole plugin in my opinion. And you've got the filter here as well. And all you have to do to add these to the stream is just drag and drop, change the order. And you can click into it to change their parameters as well. So when you click into the granular engine, you have different ways to manipulate it here with all of these dials. If you want to go further in that, there's like a sub preset section as well, where you can change the actual grain itself. So I've got a piano loaded here as well, by the way. This is what the piano sounds like dry. So regular piano, grains A. Sounds pretty cool already. Check out some of these other grains. Sounds pretty cool. Then we have the filter, which is basically just a simple filter. You got the low pass, band pass and high pass filters here as well. You can visually see what you're doing with it here. Then we have the space options, which is the convolution reverb, similar to the granular engine where you can click into the magnifying glass to get these sub presets. So this is space A. Let's just turn everything else off so we can just hear those reverbs by themselves. Okay, so here's a couple of examples of the presets that I really enjoy, and then I'll be showing you the projects I've been working on as well using this plugin. I absolutely love that. There's nothing wrong with the original melody. It has a lot of character, it has a lot of depth within the melody. Really love this one. Same as before, the melody is awesome by itself, but when you add this, it kind of puts it somewhere else. It kind of gives it depth, makes it sound more meaningful, even more emotional maybe. I've got to mention as well, you can split this path into 2 parallel sequences like you can see here. So you just pick the nodes that you want to work with. As you can see, you can add multiple, as many as you want. And to split the path, just simply drag and drop. And there you are. You can even add more nodes to the bottom one there as well now, which is pretty cool. Something I love about this plugin is that you can get a loop or a sample. So if you use sample loops, throw it into here and it will make it unrecognizable. And there's nothing wrong with using sample loops, but I think when I use them, I kind of want them not to sound like everybody else has them, if that makes sense. So this is the loop I had. Again, sounds absolutely fine, but then I threw on this backyard celebration preset from the ambient spaces group, and now this is what it sounds like. That sounds so cool. You can use this as a pad to your original loop, or you can use this instead of the original loop. There's so many different ways to use this plugin. So here's a little production I made using that sound. I really love that use of the plugin there. The convolution reverb makes it sit nicely in the mix, and the granular engine adds a bit of sparkle to that original melody. So here's a little lo-fi production I made with this plugin on the main piano. This example goes to show that you don't need to plaster it with this effect with the granular engine. You can throw it onto something as simple as lo-fi, and it will give you that kind of lo-fi movement that you typically hear in lo-fi productions. I also used this above preset on the counter melody for this track. So in this production, I found a vocal to put in here, which I used Beam on as well. Beam has vocal expanders, so I used this Flux Washer preset here. So this is what the vocal sounded like by itself.
I will never leave you, darling, so wrap your arms around me. Pull me close and feel my heartbeat.
See, towards the end of the bar there's a massive space from when she stopped singing to the next section of the track. So I kind of wanted to fill that with a little bit more vocal sparkle. So what I've done there is added the beam just to give it a bit of echo after that. This is what that sounds like.
Pull me close and feel my heartbeat.
Just to kind of fill the empty space, and this is what that sounds like together here.
I will never leave you, darling, so wrap your arms around me. Pull me close and feel my heartbeat. I will never leave you, darling, so wrap your arms around me.
I have so many examples of me using this plugin over the last few days. This is another one. I had this loop here. Once again, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you add Beam, it gives it a bit of character, sits it really nice in the mix as well, gives it some movement. Cannot get enough of that. It sounds so lush. I know a lot of you make dark sounding music, maybe trap or drill. So this is an example for that. Here's what I started off with. That sounds really great with that one instance of Beam on there, but what I like to do is create textures just to add towards the melody or the loop or the production that you're making. So what I did here is I made another instance of this loop with the Beam plugin, and essentially what I'll do is I will just let it play and record it onto another track, and then I will capture like the tail end of the reverb with the plugin and chop it up and add it as a texture underneath the melody. So let me just give you a little example of that. You can just freeze and flatten it here in Ableton, and as you can see here we now have a tail. And depending on what preset you've chosen, that would be the length of the tail. So here's what the melody sounds like with the couple of textures I made from the plugin, layered. Sounds pretty cool. Let's take the main melody out. You can hear the textures. Here's what that sounds like with some drums and a bass behind it. So with this plugin, I don't think I've even touched the surface of what it can do. I've got nowhere near to showing you all of the presets, the drum ones, the vocal ones, wildcards, sound design. Shouts to Lunacy as well, who was obviously involved with making some of these. What I love about this plugin is that you can get those really complex pad, huge sounding ambiences, or you can click the subtle magic and get just a little hint of it, just to add a bit of character to whatever production you're making. If you head over to the Lunacy audio website, you'll see that Beam is on intro price, $59 from $99. I'm not entirely sure when this deal will end, so if you do want it, I will link it in the description with everything else. If you did enjoy any of the productions I made today, please let me know which one you like the best in the comments section below. I've been Dixon. Be safe, be productive, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.